Hello everyone, thanks so much for logging on to CBSDenver.com alongside Romy Bean. I am Michael Spencer here at team headquarters as we recap day 2 of training camp 2018. We talked a lot about Case Keenum. We talked a lot about him ever since he signed that deal to join the Broncos in free agency. The camaraderie between Case and his wide receivers I thought was evident today out of practice.
I'd say it, as Emmanuel Sanders says, so far, so good. And he keeps saying that because it's great. They're talking more than we've seen quarterbacks and receivers talk, and they're just making catches, making it look effortless. Just absolutely, the chemistry is already starting to build, and they talked about they had some camps this summer. So even in this short amount of time, they've built chemistry, but you also see that it takes a long time to build chemistry.
Certainly does, and one of the places where the Broncos want to build some chemistry is on that offensive line. When they went out with the first team today, it was from left to right the same way it was yesterday. Garrett Bowles, Ron Leary, Matt Paradis, Connor McGovern, and then Jared Valdir. And I thought it was interesting. I had a chance to talk to both Ron Leary and Garrett Bowles, and I asked him, I said, what's the difference? And Ron said, I'm making him talk a lot more this year than he did last year. That communication, Ron said, I want to know that he knows what he's doing. And Garrett seemed very appreciative of that. This is a guy who we know had some troubles holding during his first season. I think that communication, that camaraderie on the offensive line, if they can keep those 5 guys healthy throughout preseason and throughout training camp, is going to be really big for this team once they start the regular season.
And that consistency of if you can keep Bowles and Leary next to each other, I mean, that's what everyone thought was going to happen last season, and that's why they thought Garrett Bowles as a rookie would transition so well. I think really now this year he's going to have a big growing year if Leary is able to stay next to him. And like you said, talk to him the whole time. That's what he needed from day one, and now he's finally getting it.
Coming up tonight at 5 o'clock and 10 o'clock for those of you in the Denver viewing area, we will be live here at Broncos headquarters. We will have more reaction from today's second practice here at training camp. And then tonight at 10:35 on CBS Denver, we will have AutoNation All Access. You talked to some prognosticators, some of the media members, some of our fellow kin who did their best to kind of guess or predict what might happen in the future with this team.
You know, and we got kind of answers across the board about specific players, all sorts of players about the record. Be interesting too. So you got to tune in and see, because it's interesting. Everyone has a different perspective, but they all have a good reason why. It could go either way.
So we will have that for you tonight at 10:35 on AutoNation All Access, and then of course we will have more coverage throughout training camp for you right here on CBSDenver.com.